This video demonstrates how to activate the SP-401S lighting units via push-to-talk radio using the VHF function of the UR201 control and monitoring unit. VHF control allows operators to switch lights on remotely by using the push-to-talk button on a pre-programmed aviation radio frequency. To use VHF control, several requirements must be met. The UR201 must be equipped with a VHF antenna to enable radio operation. The antenna should be mounted outside in an area free of obstructions to ensure clear radio signal transmission. For a step-by-step instructions on installing the VHF antenna, refer to the UR201 installation manual. The operator must use a handheld radio with push-to-talk capability. The radio must be turned to the preset frequency assigned to the UR201 during factory configuration. This frequency is programmed by S4GA personnel before shipment and cannot be changed by the user. During system installation, the VHF signal strength must be calibrated to ensure proper communication between the handheld radio and the UR201. This is done using the potentiometer located inside the UR201 control unit. By carefully adjusting the potentiometer, the installer can fine-tune the receiver sensitivity to match the airfield's radio environment. Turning the potentiometer counterclockwise increases receiver sensitivity and strengthens the signal. Turning it clockwise decreases sensitivity and weakens the signal. Proper calibration ensured that the lamps respond accurately to the push-to-talk activations without false triggering or missed signals. Switch on the UR201 and wait for the ready indicator to illuminate in green. This confirms that the device has powered on successfully and is ready for operation. Set the group knob, corresponding to the lamps you need to control, to the remote position. Set the remote operating mode to either VHF or VHF plus GSM, depending on the desired communication method. Then, adjust the timer knob to define how long the lamps will remain active. Once activated, the lamps will operate for the defined or set duration, or until the batteries are fully discharged, whichever occurs first. The timer can be restarted at any moment by turning the timer knob to another duration, which immediately begins a new countdown. Every time the knob is switched to a different duration, the timer restarts. To control airfield equipment via VHF using the ALCMS system, press the gear icon button and switch to ALCMS control. After a few seconds, the control panel will activate. The control screen becomes active when the control buttons turn blue, indicating they are ready to be pressed, and the lights can now be controlled through ALCMS. The status will also change from Control by UR201 to Control by ALCMS. Select Activate VHF to enable radio control. Next, set the remote activation time to the desired duration. This defines how long VHF control will remain active. While VHF mode is active, all other ALCMS control panel functions are disabled and the lighting system can only be operated via the handheld radio. The ALCMS displays the remote operation time left, showing how many minutes of operation remain while the lamps are being controlled by VHF. VHF mode can be turned off at any time from the ALCMS settings menu. Activation of the lamps is performed by pressing the push-to-talk button on the handheld radio 3, 5, or 7 times within 3 seconds. 3 clicks set the lights to low, or 33% intensity. 5 clicks set the lights to medium, or 66% intensity. And 7 clicks set the lights to maximum, or 100% intensity. In this demonstration, the handheld radio is used to send 3 different activation commands to the UR201. 3 push-to-talk presses switches the lamps to low, or 33% intensity. 5 push-to-talk presses switches the lamps to medium, or 66% intensity. 7 push-to-talk presses switches the lamps to maximum, or 100% intensity. Each new command not only changes the intensity, but also resets the timer cycle, ensuring continuous operation until the new cycle expires. The lamps can be switched off manually at any time by turning the group mode switch on the UR201 from remote to off or to any other operating mode such as NVG or dusk to dawn modes. To deactivate VHF control through the ALCMS system, click on the gear icon to open the settings menu. Then, click on the VHF activation button to deactivate the operation of VHF control. This will disable VHF mode and return control to the standard ALCMS interface. If VHF mode is not manually deactivated, the lamps will automatically switch off once the timer duration expires. To reactivate the lights, simply use the handheld radio and press the push-to-talk button in sequence again. Each new activation restarts the timer cycle, keeping the lamps illuminated for the newly set duration. For more information about VHF operations, refer to the UR201 User's Manual.